Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am calling this Transit Commission meeting to order. It's Thursday, March 23rd at 4:45. I am going to give the mic over to the mayor to make our special introduction.
Hello. I'm going to make this brief since our new transit director is sitting right there and can probably speak a little bit more eloquently to his background. But it is day 4. Welcome, Matthew. But I just want to give you a little bit of a background because I just looked at his LinkedIn right before this again to refresh my memory. So he comes to us from Bowie, Maryland, but I wrote down a bunch of places where he's also worked from both public and private interests in transit and multimodal kind of things. But he's got 2 master's degrees. I'll let him tell you where they're from, and a BA. And we're just so excited that you're starting. So I'll let you maybe introduce yourself since you know all about yourself a little bit better than I do.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Well, I'm very excited to be here. Today is closing day 4. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, just getting to know everybody, meet everyone, learn the system, but I'm really excited to be here. One of the things when I came out for my interview here that really attracted me to both the area and the property, Wausau Transit, was just how friendly everyone is and how dedicated everybody is to the good work that goes on there. So I'm really excited to be here. I have a master's in history from Aberystwyth University, which is a little complicated to pronounce. It's in Wales. And I have my master's in urban planning from SUNY Albany, which is much easier to pronounce. I've worked for about, I think, 4 public transit agencies. Started my career working in transit planning. Then I kind of moved into transit scheduling, worked for Minnesota Valley Transit, which provides transit service for the suburbs of the Twin Cities. And did a little bit of time working for TransDev operating the Nassau Intercounty Express contract in Long Island, and more recently worked for the Transit Authority of Northern Kentucky, where I was in charge of scheduling and did a bit of operations work there as well, and most recently did just sort of general transportation planning and capital transportation programming for the city of Bowie, which is in the Washington, D.C. metro area. So I'm really excited to be here. It's been a great first 4 days, and really looking forward to all the things that we're going to accomplish here at Wausau Transit. So that's it for me.
Anybody have any questions of them? Okay. I want to thank you for being here. We're really excited. I'm sure Megan has a wealth of knowledge that will help you learn if she can keep the trains running. I'll tell you that. She knows what she's doing there. So I'm sure you guys will make a great team. And thank you again for accepting the position. We have a great team, and we have some great issues that we need to work on. And as long as everybody pitches in together, we'll get it done. So thank you for that. So we do have approval of minutes in our last meeting of December 15th, 2022. Do we have any questions or concerns? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to accept.
Motion to accept the minutes.
And I have a second by Turner. All in favor say aye. Aye. That passes. Update, staffing and current recruitments.
So currently, our staffing situation, we're doing fairly well. Some of our part-time hires did not work out, so we currently have 3 vacancies on the part-time board, of which one we just did an interview for that, so it could be down to 2. Right now, our focus is on training our new director and one of our supervisors to get their CDL before we go on to hire more part-time operators. Summer's a slow time of the year for us. A lot of times we're making work for people, and it's a good time for us to be doing some training during the summertime. So I think that we'll talk about those things, but my opinion is that probably May is a good time to recruit for part-time drivers. The utility worker position, we have recruited and it has been filled. That being said, the candidate is also interested in another position within the city. So he is currently doing some interviewing in a different department, and we will learn probably in April whether or not he is going to come on board with us. We continue our recruitment for a bus mechanic position. Mechanics are hard to come by throughout everywhere right now. So diesel mechanics, I spoke to Jennifer today in our HR department, and she said that she has extended the recruitment. It's now closing on April 13th. We did have one applicant who she called and contacted, ultimately did not set up an interview after hearing about the starting wages and the hours that are required of that position. So we'll have to see what comes of that recruitment at that time.
Okay. Any questions on our staffing or recruitments? Go ahead.
So with regard to the wages, so evidently our wages were not enough?
I think that they are, that other places may be more competitive than us. That being said, those are all negotiated wages through the union contract. So
Right.
they're a little bit more difficult to adjust than just deciding here or at the director level. So.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens next. I'm not entirely sure what our next move is after that recruitment ends, but we'll have to figure that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, we will go on to update Metro Ride's addition of service to Horseman riders within the existing routes. You had an email to all members about the change, and I thought we'd take the opportunity for Megan to explain what this all entails.
So the document that I presented to you, it's not in the packet, but Julie actually crunched some numbers for me today, and I appreciate that. This is a document that shows our ridership before and then after the transition. The transition officially took place on January 27th. What you're looking at is a chart of our Tripper 1, which runs on the southeast side of Wausau, and Tripper 2, which runs down 10th Street area, that side of town, and Prospect area. So what happened was, for a long period of time, Yellow School Bus was servicing for middle school on the southeast side of town, and we were servicing for high school. And there were several days that Yellow School Bus had to cancel because of lack of staffing. And so they contacted us and asked if we were able to service the same route, but also pick up the middle school students rather than just the high school students. So I would say beginning about a week before January 27th, you'll see the numbers, the ridership numbers, increase pretty substantially on Tripper 1. And then overall, the right side column shows the morning trippers and the afternoon trippers. We picked up about, I would say, 40% in service on the Tripper 1 route specifically. So not such an increase on the Tripper 2 route, but Tripper 1 was impacted. We have added one bus to that route permanently, so now there's 3 buses that service on the southeast side of town rather than what was 2 before.
Any questions with that change? I have a question, I guess. This will fold into next year again, or are they going to re-examine the Yellow School Bus availability for the next school year?
I haven't had a lot of conversation with the school district about next year, but my thought is that staffing issues with the Yellow School Buses haven't really bettered. So I think that it will probably happen next year too.
just a comment. I know that, I don't know how many, but I know that they've had some teachers driving the yellow buses as well. So I'm guessing too that the staffing issues
Or not?
are not, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very happy that we could pick up that load. Thank you, Megan, for making that happen, because we are helping the students, that's what I'm looking at, and their families that really lean on our transportation. So we picked up and we did what we could, and I think that's great. Any other questions? This was a very short meeting. We pushed it this week because we wanted everyone to be able to meet Matthew. I don't know, meetings going forward, I know that our usual stance is that we have meetings when we have action items. That's our usual stance. I guess I'd like to hear from the commission about the meeting schedules. I don't like calling meetings if they're not necessary. But if you would like more updates, I mean, Matthew will be able to tell me if he thinks he has something to bring in front of the committee. Otherwise, do you just want like updates every month, or do you want to do it as we push it if there's no actionable items or nothing, more than this, and we can throw those in an email like we did, to make sure you are updated as I am and go forward. They're pretty self-sufficient, our transit, unless they need our guidance on things. And there are things coming up because, we're going to let him take a breath, but we had our technology that we've kind of pushed off using some of our CARES money and things. Those are things that Matthew will bring up, when he's ready for that. So we do have some big items coming up, but right now we're kind of in that in-between. So what's your pleasure?
I would like to keep on working on that transit plan, to work on the technology and what some of the topics that lady suggested we look at.
Right, we're going to do that. Matthew will be doing that, but we're going to give him a chance to get through
I
it.
understand. He just started 4 days ago,
Yeah.
and he probably hasn't had a lot of time to
No,
look at it.
and so, and he knew that, that was kind of our big thing, is our technology right away. Because Greg was kind of putting up, and then he will come, we will certainly have a meeting when that comes up. He will bring us suggestions or, a couple of examples of what we can do, and he can give his expertise, and then we can talk about it, make a decision. But that would be an actual, committee meeting. But do you want just an update every month, or do you want the emails until there's an actionable item?
For me, I think that I would still like the meeting, mostly because a lot of times in the updates before, there was still a lot of questions that I think were helpful to just get a immediate response to, and to get a bit more information or clarity, especially whenever there's things like grants or a bit more opaque processes involved. So I definitely appreciate still having a meeting, even if there's not actionable items, but that there's updates so we have an idea and are able to ask questions and at least have that in the record as well.
I'm fine either way. If others want to meet, I'm fine with doing that. Otherwise, I'm fine with the updates until there are actionable items, so I can go either way.
Okay. I'll discuss with Matthew and we'll let you know. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Turner, second by Lookins. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, we're adjourned.